Norfolk Business Show with Danny Snelling. Sponsored by MT Comms.
Okay, Nancy.
Hello.
Thank you for coming back again.
It's all right, you're welcome.
I say back again because I have a bit of an apology to make to Nancy. So for some reason, I didn't press record. So we sat through the whole thing, and didn't end up recording it, or I did, but something happened, and I pressed pause, and then I forgot to press record again. So Nancy, back for the second time.
Yes.
I'm afraid you'll have to go through this all again with us.
That's quite right.
But I'm going to pretend like I don't know the answers to any question I ask you.
Okay.
But it probably won't be the same questions anyway. Please do tell our listeners anyway about yourself and what you do for people.
Okay. Yes. So I am the cancer survivors coach. So I work with women that are reclaiming their lives after cancer, that aren't really sure who they are now or what they want. And I help them with a 12-week program to go through different areas of their lives, to drill down into sort of any discontent or longing that they've always wanted and things like that, and basically just help them to move from surviving to thriving again, really.
And you call yourself the
cancer survivors coach.
Lovely, yeah. And how long have you been running that? And I know
tail
it's
end
new.
of last year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And going well?
Yes. Yeah. Touch wood. So far, so good. Yeah.
Sounds good. And tell us a bit more about yourself. How did you end up doing this, and how what?
Yeah. So well, I worked for many years in property. So I was an estate agent for a long time, and then I moved over into land and new homes. So I was a business development manager for a corporate company. So I did that working with developers and new building sites and things until I personally got diagnosed with cancer. So I had breast cancer, and I had to have a mastectomy and reconstruction, and I had chemotherapy and radiotherapy. So I went through the whole works.
Proper
really.
ringer.
Yeah. And a bit like most women, at the end of it, you know you've changed, but you're just like, what now? I don't want to go back to that, or the stress. It's not always the stress for everybody, but for me it was the stress of that, working in that environment. I didn't want to go back to that, and I love working with people and helping people, and I just wanted something that I could give back in some way. And it took me a while. I was sitting thinking, what can I do? And it came to me to do this. I initially qualified as a certified holistic cancer coach, and I still didn't think that was quite enough. So then I went on and did another qualification and certified as a transformational life coach. So I've combined the two and to put together this program to help women move forward from there. And that's how it came about.
Can I don't know if you want to recall those events, but how did that feel when you first got that diagnosis? What was it, that actual day? I'm sure is etched in your memory, but
yes it is. It's awful. It is. It's absolutely awful. Although I kind of knew it was coming, I think, in the back of my mind, but it's still a shock when you sit there and they finally say the words. You kind of then go a bit numb and you can't remember much else. Fortunately for me, I had my two sisters with me, and I think they took a lot in for me and explained later. But I felt mine was quite harsh in a way, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but the surgeon at the time said to me that basically the cancer was so big that I had to have a mastectomy, and there was no choice. I had to have that, or I wasn't going to survive.
I guess those people who say that news or break that news don't ever get to see the aftermath or the again, but they must have guidance on how to give news like that. I'm sure, and I guess if they were to give you, I don't know, soften it slightly.
An option.
Yeah, it would be forever in your mind. Did I really have to have all that done, or did I?
Yeah.
So I guess that they've got to be firm.
You are right. Yes.
Because if not, you might second guess, or you might want a second opinion, or you might just delay things.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You are. But it's just that shock.
Oh God, yeah.
It is that shock,
I can't begin to
and it does feel harsh, but it's the best thing for you, and they're doing their best to save your life. So,
and I can't begin to imagine, how difficult it is for them as well, to give that news. So, taking stock of that news.
Yeah.
Obviously, you said you had your sisters there to help you, but there must have been some alone time soon after that. How did you kind of process and deal with that news yourself? And because you didn't have a cancer survivors coach to assist you through it.
No, I did a lot of Googling, as people do, Googling and watching, trying to follow some people on YouTube and things like that. But I lived alone, and so that was quite harsh, sitting at home on your own. Gives you too much time to think.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And I think I realised that. I thought, this is a really slippery slope. If I don't get my mental well-being correct, I could go the wrong way.
Yeah.
And that's when I really delved more into the mindset and what we think about comes about and
was this
like
before
that.
treatment, or?
I'd always been along that line. So I've done in the past. I've always done a lot of self-development and self-help books and things like that. So I followed it for many years. So that when I did sit in that moment alone at home, I was like, you've got to put into practice everything you've learned. You've got to get your mindset right, because otherwise you're not going to be here, basically. So although it was hard on me sitting there, I did have people come and stay with me and try and keep me company. But there are times as well when you're like, I don't want someone here. I just want to sit in my own space. And I did close myself off a bit, in as far as I didn't tell friends what had happened. Very close people knew, but other than that, I just kind of kept everyone, because I didn't want those, I'm so sorry. Yeah. I didn't want those conversations. You never know what to say to
people either, do you? But I just
so,
come right out and say it, I don't care. I'm just like, here if you need me, anything, and
that's all you can do,
certainly
isn't
blokes, they, I think they appreciate that, because they don't often think that, the people are actually going to understand or be there or whatever. But blokes, I've noticed, used to never talk about it, but now they are. They absolutely
great.
are.
Yeah,
it's fantastic, because they never used to.
Right.
And just recently, 2 people I know are now going through treatment, and they are out there asking for help, and people are messaging them and just dropping in on them and checking in on them. So it wouldn't have happened, honestly. Even 5-10 years ago, it wouldn't have happened.
You're right. No.
They'd have kept it quiet. And, But I'm just perhaps sorry to delve into that actual time, but for anyone who's not gone through it, it's always the unknown, isn't it?
Yes.
It's something that no one can ever understand, because they haven't lived through it. But professionally, you're in a full-time job when you got that news, and presumably they allowed you the time off with no problem.
They did, yes. They let me have as much time as I needed. And as that time went on, that's when I realised that I didn't want to go back. They were very good, as I say, they gave me the time, but I just knew I was done with that. I didn't want the pressure anymore, because I think that obviously can contribute to it sometimes. And I'm glad I made the change, because I really feel like I'm giving something back to people now, and helping women to have confidence again, and see them to smile and be happy, and it's so rewarding. It really is. Whereas I would not have got that had I gone back to property.
Yeah, and at what point, I guess, did you realise, how long after the treatment, I guess, or how long before you were able to get back to doing something?
I was a good year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a because it didn't all just happen at once. You know, I had a few months, it felt like, before the actual operation, and then after the operation I got an infection, and then there was 3 more months of trying to clear the infection before they would do the chemotherapy. And then there was the chemotherapy, then we needed more time, and then became the radiotherapy. So I think it was getting on nearly a year.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
That was a long battle. Yeah. And then when presumably you started feeling better at that point after presumably radiotherapy, then it was then, right, what am I going to do?
Yes. Yeah. What am I going to do? I want to do something that I could work from anywhere in the world, but something that of importance that would help people, that I feel that I'm contributing to the world and I'm helping someone at the same time. So, and it took a while, but then it finally came to me.
It's nice actually, because I often give business coaches a bit of a hard time, because I'd always say, well, I wouldn't perhaps come out and say it, but I'd think it. What gives you the experience and knowledge to be able to sit here and tell me or tell others how to run a successful business? I want to know that they've been there and done it, grown or sold or exited a successful business. Now that's not strictly has to happen, but if a school teacher is going to teach you teach your kids about it, you want to know that they know what they're talking about.
Yes, yeah.
So you are expressly qualified in this area.
Yeah.
You've lived it, breathed it, unfortunately, but you've came out the other side. You've clearly got that personal or positive mental attitude to continue and to start afresh, because it is a fresh start, isn't it?
I think for me at the time, I decided to just view it as inconvenient. It was really inconvenient for me, the timing of it.
Yeah.
And that helped me though, looking back, because if I'd have just thought, oh my god, I'm going to die, that I'd have really gone downhill. But I didn't. I was like, this is really inconvenient. I've got so much I want to do. I need to be well, and I need to get on the flight and go here, there, and everywhere. And people were like, it's going to take 9 months or a year or 18 months or so. I was like, what? No way. I can't wait that long. I've got things I need to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, but definitely, lived and breathed it, and I think you're perfectly placed to advise people. So tell me more about the actual business itself and what you do for people, the structure, and you say the 12 weeks.
Yes.
How is that kind of broken down? And perhaps, first of all, how do people reach out to you? How do they find out about you?
So I'm on Facebook. I'm currently working with a marketing company, so we're going to increase the exposure. So it'll be Facebook and Instagram, and I am also working with the doctors. I've spoken to the hospital, so I'm going to get some leaflets out there. I'm working with beauty therapists that can do the eyebrow tattooing, because obviously women lose their hair and things like that. I'm working with another tattooist that does the areola. And so the business is slowly spreading, but it's getting more and more as time goes on. And what the clients get is they get the 12-week course, which basically looks at the 4 quadrants of your life. So time and money, love and relationships, health and well-being, and your vocation. And we kind of drill down into each area, and I'll ask them with regards to their longing and their discontent in each of those areas. And why do they feel like that, and what do they truly want, and if they did have that magic wand and they could do anything, what would it be? What would they really want?
I'm familiar with that wheel, with
Yeah.
those 4 areas, if you score them out of 10 and one of them is low, then the wheel doesn't run smoothly, does it?
Yes,
So you
that's
can be
right.
fine in some areas, but
Yeah.
you kind of have to have that balance of all 4, don't you? And
Yes.
if one is lower than the rest, then things
Yeah.
just don't run smoothly. But so presumably you'd meet with them initially, have that
Yes.
discussion and end game to what they'd really love to do,
Yeah.
and then I guess is it modelled around them very much, the 12 weeks, or is it?
It's very much around them, and
If they need work in certain areas, you might spend more time on that bit,
yes,
maybe.
yeah. So really, it's finding out which part of their life is the part that they're most discontent with, and then we look at, well, what if you could do X, Y, Z, and what if it was easy, and trying to open their mind up, because we all get kind of pushed in that narrow mindset, I think, to start with, as in you get your 9 to 5 and you get married and you have babies, and everything seems boxed out, and it's just about opening up your mind more to possibilities. There's other things out there that you possibly could do, because bear in mind now, you're given a second chance, or we're given a second chance here. So I want to make the most of that second chance. And what would you really love? What do you really want to do? And then it's not just about what would you love, but what's going to make you feel complete or happy or just contented with your life? Because you're on this second chance now. Let's make the best of it and the most of it.
From your experience so far, do you think people really grasp that second chance, or they're looking, or they want that second chance?
It is a split. It really is, because some they're not believing in it. So that, to me, I feel they're on the slippery slope. But the majority that I work with,
I guess the fact they've approached you or given you time, then they've obviously got an interest in mentally getting better anyway. It's hard to know, again, what to say to people if you can see they need help. I guess that's a good question. How would one reach out to someone to say, look, why don't you just have a chat with this lady?
I think if they're just willing to have that chat, if I can help them or recommend something, then I will. But I think they've got to want it.
Yeah.
They've got to want to survive and live a very long, healthy and happy life.
So within the 12-week program, you say there's different areas and elements you focus on, but how far does it delve into, for example, career? Is it mainly focused around career, or is it dependent really on what the person needs help with?
It does depend what the person needs help with.
But if they said to you, they'd be more comfortable, or their end goal would be to perhaps start a business, or would you guide them down that path, or would you perhaps, what I'm trying to say is, if you steer them down a certain path and that's not necessarily right for them,
I see.
How would you cope with that, I guess? And
I'm going to be guided by the client, and if that's the area that they want to work on, that's the area we're going to work on. What I will never do is, I won't ever say, I think you should do this, this and this. I may suggest them reading a certain book, or arrange a meeting with someone so I have got contact with an oncologist and people. Now, I don't think I'd recommend, I'd suggest that this is available for them if they'd like to have a conversation with them. But I'm not going to be recommending things because I'm not really qualified to, and I can't guarantee any results. But I will point people in the right direction if I can, if that's going to be helpful to them.
And at the end of the 12 weeks, is there sort of an onward plan for them to keep doing, or it's very much...
I'm working on that. I am working on that. So the 12-week and everything is in place, but the next stage I'm still building. So it will be available. It's just going to be a few more months. So
and have you had any success stories yet? Anyone?
I have. I've had a lady who she was very hard on herself because she's had the operations that I had, and there's scarring, that you're left with scarring, and she really disliked herself and put herself down terribly for that. And obviously, it was nothing of her doing. She felt that she'd never find the love or companionship or something because of her scarrings. So we worked a lot on that for her, and she's in a much better place now, and she is with somebody, and she's very, very, very happy. But that was a long journey, and she's not the only one. There's a lot of us that are left like that, thinking, Christ, look at the state of me now. So there's that lady, and then I had another lady that worked. She was a solicitor, and she just didn't. Again, it was to do with pressure and the workload and things like that. She just set up on her own in the end. And she was high up. She just kind of threw the whole lot up. I've had enough. But she didn't fully. Really, I didn't think it wasn't really for me to say. But I think she was almost at the point of throwing it all away, and that seemed harsh. So we worked through that, and what she actually does now is she's got her own little business where she can pick and choose the clients she wants to. The stress isn't too much, and it just took a long time to find the answer for her because she was like, I'm done with it, I'm not doing it anymore, that's it. And that was a massive decision to make. So we kind of slowed it all down and looked into things more and made sure it was the right choice for her and her lifestyle and what she wanted. And so yeah, it worked out to be a success story for her, but a long road to get to it. So
I perhaps skip past all this, but a bit more of your background. I know you were in property, but you know where you grew up, where are you from?
So I'm from London originally, East London, and I moved out of London 15, 20 years ago, something like that. And so the past life has been mostly in property. So, but when I very first left school, I managed leisure centres, sports centres and stuff like that, and the gym and everything else. And then I moved away and went into property and did that for about 20 years, quite a long time. So, which I did love property, I really did. It was the first job that I had that I really enjoyed going to work. But I think it's a love it or hate it job, I think. Yeah. So, but I loved it. I loved that. So, as I say, I did that for many, many years, and then until my diagnosis, and then here I am now, full circle. So, complete change.
What sort of timing did lockdown have on all this, or?
It was all going on at that time.
Really?
Yeah. So that was tricky because of people coming to visit you and couldn't have that, and so it just adds to it. Really. As if it can't be bad enough.
Everyone, it's one sort of pattern I'm seeing amongst every guest I have on here. I usually ask, what's your success stories? What's the low point? Everybody so far brings up lockdown, and for all the right reasons, of course. It was life changing for most people. But it's to have that around that time as well must have been.
You can't have someone come in and sit with you or
no.
But thankfully we had FaceTime and thank goodness.
Well, you brought it up, technology, FaceTime. Are you implementing that in your process? And
yes,
yeah.
So a lot of the coaching will be via Zoom. So that's how the program will be presented. Having said that, though, for anyone that is in Norfolk or Suffolk, if they really want that face-to-face meeting, I'm more than happy to do that. But business is countrywide, so it's spreading. But anyone local, then I'm more than happy to spend. For some people, they want that face-to-face connection.
So, maybe even initially, just to build that rapport, I guess, and then and you can go on from there. I'm thinking now about ways in which you can help grow your business and good contacts to meet. One of the things you touched on was being national. Are there not already, or is it something you've looked into? Not an area I know, but like these online mental health, maybe apps or stuff like that. Is there something like that, or
Yes, there is.
is it just something that started and didn't work? I don't know. I seem to recall something like that.
What I've found is when I was looking for help afterwards, is that there was a wellness coach, or there was like the cancer charities, but there wasn't someone that was combining the two and had lived through it. So I suppose in effect I've kind of created it myself, but that was out of necessity because it wasn't available to me. So as I say, there are a lot of nutritionists and people, if you can pick and match people together, but what I wanted to try and do is make it more of a compact business, rather than having to go to this one for this and this for this and this for this. So that was the idea behind it.
So I'm going to guess and I'm talking about your business success here, not necessarily your ability to help people, but it has to be to get this message out to a big charity or a big organisation involved in charity, so that they can refer to you.
Yes.
And I guess that's down to our listeners to do. But
yes, absolutely.
I've mentioned to you before about the box that ladies get sent.
Yes.
What's that charity?
That's Little Lifts.
Little Lifts, yeah.
And that's fantastic. I received one of their boxes when I went in for the chemo, and
so it would really be a charity like that, even just to get a leaflet in there or something. But,
it'd be lovely to get a leaflet in their box, and I'm happy to collaborate and make it work for both sides, and and that would feel good to me, giving something back as well.
Yeah. I have met the lady who runs that. Perhaps I'll try and reach out to her. But if perhaps any of our listeners or someone from the charity themselves wants to at least have a discussion, then please do reach out to one or other of us, and we'll make that happen. But are there any other plans for the future of the business? Any changes, or you?
Well, I will expand, obviously, and after the 12-week, I'm creating another course to go on, and so that there's continued support for people. But really, as you said, it's about getting the word out there and people being aware of it. I'd like to get leaflets in the doctors or the hospital and places like that to spread the word, because people don't know, they don't know what to do next.
No,
and that was a big thing for me. What now? Because they just said to me, okay, you're all clear, come back if something goes wrong. So what now then? What am I meant to do now? And they just
in terms of funding, is there any funding available for it, or have you looked into that?
I haven't looked into that as yet, although you're not the first person to mention that to me, so that's something I will look into. I do wonder,
because there's all sorts of help out there for other ailments, isn't there? And this is no different than other mental health ailments. So, but that's perhaps a route to follow. So, if anyone knows anything about funding or anything like that, then do reach out. But it sounds phenomenal what you're doing, and I'm sure it's going to benefit many people. And I suppose most people would think there is a moral issue here. Just around the fact, obviously you have to charge for your services, but most people would think that, ignoring the fact you've been through it yourself, but say someone who hadn't been through it themselves were specifically trying to find people who are had suffered and gone through all that, to then charge them for it. There is a moral question there, no doubt, and I suppose people may question, well, is it morally okay to make money from people in that unfortunate position? But absolutely, in your case, it's perfectly fine, and you're helping people. But I guess there's still that thing in the background, isn't there? That little niggle that people might think.
I paid for my qualifications and my trainings and everything else. So to me, it kind of comes around and goes around. It's keeping the circle, keeping the abundance flowing for everybody.
Yeah. Again, I'm just thinking out loud, but God, you got my head spinning now. This could, could it be a charity? You know, could you get funding from somewhere and donations to be able to give away your service to people?
Somebody did mention about a charity, me working with a charity, where the charity sponsors the course. Some
You know, there's got to be
it,
some connection here, hasn't there?
Yeah.
That I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but you know, could it be a charity in its own right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it definitely sounds like it needs. You know, it's something I would give money to, and I think many people would give money to, because it is just as important as the actual treatment itself.
Yeah.
But technology, sorry to get back onto that. Obviously, you're doing the Zoom calls and everything. How are people finding that? Because these people aren't necessarily already in a business world or in a professional world sometimes either.
Yeah.
Is it a hurdle to overcome? Is it?
It hasn't been as yet. No. It's been because as time's gone on, more and more people are used to it.
Yeah, of course.
And especially with the lockdown, that kind of went that way. But you're right, not everyone is in that business world. But
I mean, you don't have to be to use Zoom, of course. But
so far so good. We've
yeah.
not had any issues.
Yeah.
So.
And again, talking about technology, you know, do you see any threats or threats to your business? Sounds threatening, but I don't know, some app that comes out that can give all this information away.
I haven't seen an app. Perhaps I should create the app.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first. But
I haven't. Not as yet.
No.
And as I said, I'm sure you can pick bits here and this from this and this from this. So it is out there if someone.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make it simpler and easier for women, because their head is going crazy as it is anyway, without then trying to source information from different areas.
Yeah. And at what point do they reach out to you if they hear of you? Is it during treatment is a good time?
It can be during treatment, although it's called...
Or at least to set it up for when...
Yeah, it implies that it's kind of after all your treatment. But I do have a course that is with regards to you going into your chemo treatment. So how to prepare for your chemo, foods you should eat, preparation of it, you know, just the wellness of your body, supplements and things like that are available, just to make it easier. And it's about embracing hair loss, and it talks about all the things that could happen during the chemo treatment. So obviously that's still whilst things are going on.
Yeah.
So the name really does imply that you've survived and you're through it already.
Yeah.
But I do have this other angle.
And of course, you know, it's right to assume so that you're going to survive and everything else. So I think we've covered most things. Just perhaps to touch on, you know, your personal work-life balance now. You've obviously, that's all in the past now. You're looking to the future.
Yeah.
But have you got any personal goals that you want to achieve, or maybe just work from your laptop in a foreign country?
That's it. That is absolutely
that is the goal. Yeah, there
absolutely.
You go.
To be able to move around and maybe live abroad, but I'd always be back here regular anyway. So.
But have that freedom.
It would be
able
nice to have
more.
the choice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, Nancy, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Sorry you had to come back twice.
That's quite all right. No problem
but
at all.
hopefully, yes, it's still recording. So we got there in the end.
Great.
But no, it's been great. Please, listeners, if you can help Nancy in any way, shape or form, with any contacts, or any of you want to just reach out to her, please do get in touch. And I'll obviously put links to your website in the description. But thank you very much, and thank you, Nancy.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your time.
The Norfolk Business Show with Danny Snelling, sponsored by MT Comms.
Just a quick word from me. Absolutely thrilled with the response and feedback we've had so far. It really has been so positive. We're going to continue with it. I do just need to ask you all, please, just to take that 1 second to click the subscribe, like, follow button, share them. Just do something for me, because we're never going to be monetized. We're not going to make money from this show, and that's not our intention. We're a local Norfolk show, so we're never going to get those worldwide viewing figures that need to monetize channels. It's not about that. We genuinely are just trying to give back to the business community in Norfolk. So please do that favor for me. It will just increase the visibility of those guests we have on the show, so they get more impact from it. And who knows, if you're a future guest, then you'll get the benefit of that as well. So please do that for me. Obviously, we're sponsoring it from MT Comms. Please do keep us in mind if we can help with anything IT related, Office 365, support, cybersecurity, 365, that sort of thing. We also do telecoms, mobile, CCTV. There's loads of stuff we do. Just reach out to us and ask us if you can help with anything. Thank you, guys.